So last week I left Melbourne, left working as an in-person coach, moved up to Byron Bay, bought a van, and also bought a puppy. Honestly, this probably does seem a little bit random to a lot of you who are following me for like the fitness content, but this has been pretty much building in the background and has been in the back of my mind for at least the last 6 months, or some form of this. The main reason I made this decision to actually do this and went ahead with it is I did really enjoy my time in Melbourne working as a coach. I learned a lot. It was a very good experience and I'm very grateful for it. But I was finding after a while, I just kind of became a bit disconnected. I was burning out a little bit, but I felt like I was missing something. I had some injuries come up, my back, my shoulder, and that made me really start to think about what I was actually wanting to do. Because until that time, training myself was my whole sort of focus as well as business. And then I wasn't able to do one of them. So it kind of left, like, I was able to train, but not exactly how I would want to be training or how I was used to training. So it's a very big change for me. It made me think a lot about what I actually want to do. So I guess like the biggest thing I kind of learned from it is like when my life was revolving around like one or two main areas that were also very closely linked. If one of them took a hit or a big change, I wasn't able to do it as I would normally want to be. These sort of setbacks and things that come up, they can feel a lot more intense because I didn't have other outlets to put my time into, or I wasn't used to putting my time into other outlets, if that makes sense. Now, I've had some people say to me, like, are you not working as a coach anymore? I still am. Nothing's really changing besides the fact that I'm not working in person anymore, not for a while at least. I will go back to that eventually, but the main focus and goal of all of this is going to be to focus a lot more on my training my clients, still putting out content, but then really prioritizing traveling, seeing Australia, which I haven't done a lot of, camping, hiking, training Nala. This is Nala, by the way. But yeah, that's really the focus. I'm looking for a lot more of like a balanced sort of lifestyle, focusing on everything I was in Melbourne, but now also giving as much focus, or more focus, I should say, to my other areas, like passions that aren't entirely around business or fitness. So like I said, hiking, camping, traveling, seeing parts of Australia that I haven't seen, and going back to some places that I have seen as well, which I really liked. So that's really the big focus for me now. So there's going to be a lot more content kind of mixed together with the fitness. And I'm also going to be documenting how I'm handling my training on the road, living out of a van. I've had loads of people ask me how I'm going to be training, how I'm going to be eating, what that's going to look like. So there's going to be a lot of content still, a lot of the normal stuff that I have been posting, but there's going to be a lot more about how I am training on the road, training in different gyms, eating and prepping my meals basically. If I'm still meal prepping, if I'm not, what that like looks like, and then how I'm structuring my training like around going hiking on the weekend, or depending where I'm at as well, because things are going to be changing a lot. So it's going to be really adapting. But the goal for the next couple of months is basically to kind of use Byron as my sort of home base as I build up the van. So I'm going to be having a bed, sofa bed over in that corner there. And basically there'll be a sofa, it will flip out into a bed. So that way, when I'm not sleeping, I have some place that I can work or just relax and read and do whatever, but still have some good floor space for Nala to have her bed and just area to play with. So that will be all open. I'll have some storage on the backs of those, and that's all going to be open. I'll have some curtains that come down. I'm not actually going to put any windows in the van. I was in here the other day and the weather wasn't great in Byron. So it was pretty dark outside, but the light in here was still really good. So I didn't think I really needed any windows. Saves me the time, or even paying someone to do it. I probably could do it myself. I've got all the tools, or my dad has all the tools, and whatever I don't know, he seems to know. Or I would know someone who could give me a hand with it. But it just seemed like a lot of extra work that I didn't really need. So no extra windows. I don't really feel I need it. I'm doing the insulation today. You can kind of see I've put that there. I just need to put the paneling on, do the lower parts. And then where I'm sat at the moment, this will be my desk area. So there'll be a place for me to work, a bit of storage on the sides, and then coming out that way, so underneath the boot and that door, there'll be my pull-out kitchen and my battery, my small fridge. It'll be like a 15-litre fridge, so really small. I don't need anything big. And then over on that wall there'll be some storage. There was a shelf that actually came with the van, so I've cut that up a little bit to kind of fit over there. So I'm going to install that hopefully today or tomorrow. And then that's pretty much it. I'll be doing my first camping trip actually in it next week. Just going overnight somewhere up or down the coast. It's going to be like weather dependent and see where I can get some like free campsites. So hopefully, well, yeah, definitely by then the installation will be done. And then over this next week, I'll start doing the bed. And then once the bed is done, there'll be the desk area. So I reckon 3-4 weeks and it should be pretty, like the furniture and layout should be pretty much set. So that's pretty much the plan for the next couple of months, is to get this kitted out, relax a little bit, do some training, do some content, training Nala, which is going really well. She's actually been, I was very lucky with the choice that I got, I guess, or choosing Nala. She's been very chill. She has some moments. It feels a lot easier than I was expecting to be training a new dog. I think she's just been very easy to train, which is awesome. So a lot easier than I was expecting. Touch wood, I've only had her for 5 days, so that might change very quickly, and I'm sure things will pop up a little bit. I've been up here a week as well, so I had a couple people ask me like, what have I done with my training? What have I done with my nutrition over this week and a bit? I haven't tracked anything since leaving Melbourne, purely just because I haven't really wanted to. I don't feel like I've lost, like not much has changed body comp wise in a week. I'm still prioritizing protein with every single meal, eating 3 to 4 meals throughout the day, make sure I don't have huge gaps between meals. So nutrition looks very, very similar to what it did. Some slight changes to meals, but I would be guessing that I would be eating very, very similar calories and macros to what I was eating. Maybe a little bit less on some days, maybe a bit more where I was at on other days. But that's pretty much what I've done there. Training wise, I've trained at a few different gyms. I've now got a gym that I'm going to be training at consistently for the next 2 to 3 months. I kind of went into them and did my usual workouts. Obviously some things I don't have the same machines. So trying to choose machines or movements which are very similar to the ones I was doing. Get a bit of data this week, and then same as normal next week, pretty much. Just start progressing where I can, make sure I'm choosing the right sort of machine and exercise that feels best for me. If you do have any questions about how I'm handling my training, my nutrition, even how I'm building up this, any questions at all, comment them below or even send me a DM. But I'll see you guys in the next video.